everyone, welcome back to Unicorn Dust Designs. My name is Sammy Veltri, and on this channel, I do a little bit of everything. We do thrift flips, we do Dollar Tree, wood signs, I play around with IoT products. I love to dabble in everything. Today, I am going to be bringing you guys a mega video of all of my past favorite spring DIYs. Yes, spring. So that means after this video, you're gonna have fresh new spring DIY content. So you guys get on those comfy clothes and hop on that couch. And speaking of a couch, let me tell you about this awesome app I just found called Huge Casino. It's an absolutely free app that you can download on your iOS and Android. I downloaded mine on my app from Amazon, and you could also do it on Facebook as well. It is a game that offers over 100 online casino games, from retro classics to modern slot machines, and they're inspired by real slots. And on top of the slots, you can also play poker, roulette, and blackjack, which is one of John's favorite, and I'm not gonna lie, it's becoming mine too. You can join a club to play with your friends, and you can compete in a billionaire league. I'm all about that. But you guys, the game is for entertainment purposes only. It does not offer any real money gambling or an opportunity to win real prizes or anything like that. It is just for fun. So y'all, make sure to click the link down in the description box and download Huge Casino. I have really, like I said, I have been enjoying the blackjack so much, and also the cute little leprechaun one. I love the slots. I'm not gonna lie, I do, but I think my favorite so far is the blackjack. So again, head down to the description box, click that link, and download that to your phone or your tablet like I did. I like it like this because like the screen's bigger and it makes it feel like more real. Look, she's telling me because I'm talking too much, you need to spin or you'll be removed. I don't want to be removed. Hey. So if you click the link down in the description box today or in the pinned comments as well, you're going to get 5 million chips to play around with. So you guys, I hope you have a good one. Let's get into the video, and thank you Huge Casino for sponsoring a portion of today's video. We are going to start off with a wood sign today, and for this wood sign, I was inspired by this Pinterest picture, and it was like $92. I was like, we can make it cheaper, but it's still gorgeous. So this, I believe, was 9 by 27 or 9.25 by 27, and I had previously used it for something else. That's why it's already stained. I am using linen white by Rust-Oleum. I do have this on my Amazon Live, Amazon store. You could also get it at Walmart. And I'm just taking my chip brush and I'm making sure to get the sides and the front. I am just doing a messy coat because I want this to look rustic. And then these little side pieces, I took off an old coffee table and have had a little stash of them. So I was like, you know what? These are going to be perfect. So I gave these 2 coats, but I only gave the sign 1 coat of paint. Then taking my wood glue, I'm going to glue each of those to the corner. Now, I didn't have to do this step first, but I chose to just so I had a better idea of like how to fit my lettering inside of this. And I did not like put nails through this because the wood was very fragile. So next we're going to try the cinnamon hack. And what I'm doing is I'm taking clear wax by Rust-Oleum, and I am taking just household cinnamon. And you can see I'm going in small sections at a time. And while that wax is still wet, I'm getting my cinnamon and I'm pushing it into the wax with my finger. And this is going to create like a faux rust look, like it's been kind of outside and weathered and starting to rust. Now, I will say, like when I was rubbing up and down versus side to side, I got like a grittier texture, which I really ended up liking. So just a little tip there. But as I go, I'm just working in small sections, putting it sporadically around the wood board. And then as spots dried, I would just take my brush and then dust it off to reveal the rust look. So you could see right there, like just brushing it off, and then you could see it just looks rusty, and oh my gosh, it turned out beautiful. All right. So after all that's done, I'm taking, this is Aura Mask 813 stencil vinyl and my vinyl ease transfer tape. Now, a tip, I should have done my lettering before I put that wax and that cinnamon on. Because, I mean, the transfer tape, or sorry, the stencil paper did stick, but it took me a lot more work than it should have. And that's because of the wax and the texture of the cinnamon. So paint first, then do your wax and cinnamon hack. So right here, I'm just taking a stencil brush from Dollar Tree. I'm taking Elephant Gray by Waverly, and I'm going to stencil this in. Now, usually if you watch my wood round videos, you know something of this size, I would probably use a roller. However, since I was having bubbles with this, because it was not sticking to my wood the way I would usually want, I did not want to chance rolling paint on and getting it under those bubbles. So instead, I'm stenciling it on. That way I have more control over how much paint is there and how it's being applied. So after taking that Aura mask off, I get a rough sanding block from Dollar Tree and just rub that over my letters so that it goes with that worn look. And look at how beautiful this is. Oh my gosh, I don't need to keep everything. And then you guys, I'm just gonna apply some D hooks. This is a longer, heavier sign. So these work, in my opinion, better than sawtooth hangers. And we are done. Let me know what you think of this. I think it is so gorgeous. I keep telling you guys, I'm going to get in trouble because I keep telling myself I'm going to put these things in my booth. But then after they're done, I'm like, but this is my style. I want this in my house. And I just love the way it turned out. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. So in her video, she has like wood birdhouses that don't have anything on them. I didn't have that. So we're using a birdhouse from Dollar General. Took me like 3 coats to cover the image on the front. I was going to leave the blue on the top and the bottom, but I ended up getting paint all over it. So all of this ended up getting painted white, just like Ashley did. So as that's drying, of course, I'm like, oh, I can't leave it plain. I just can't. I need to add more to it. So I got those same stickers and I'm going to put 2 rows of them on the top. I tried. I love the simplicity of hers, but I was like, no, I need more. So after that, I cover the top with plaster once again. I am going to take my IOD molds. They sent these to me and I absolutely love these birds. I will leave ironorchiddesigns.com link down in the description box for you guys. Then I take my air dry clay. You guys, I am new to this. If there's a way, I'm feeling like the clay is starting to get tougher. Is there a way, like, can I add water to it to make it like a little bit more movable? Let me know down in the comments. So as you can see, I'm putting it in my mold. I put cornstarch in there first so that the clay does not stick to my mold and I can easily pop it out. Then I take my craft knife and I clean it up. Now I did a couple birds because I didn't know which ones I wanted on the birdhouse. So then I go down to a couple other birds. They almost look like they're flying towards each other. And I thought these would look gorgeous on the birdhouse together. So I just press that clay in there. And then I'm going to take my rolling pin. I'm going to flatten the back out. And then I just bend that mold so it pops out. And again, we'll just go ahead and clean that up with the craft knife. And while these are still wet, meaning like I could still mold them, I am taking plaster by Waverly. I'm going to fully coat these little guys. Look at how cute and how detailed these birds are. It always blows my mind when I use their molds. They're just so gorgeous and so detailed. So after this, I take my mica powder. These are from Arteza. I think this one was called like Pearl Sage or something. It gives off a green teal iridescent color. And oh my gosh, it is gorgeous. I end up dusting the top of the roof with this powder as well. And y'all, the images, the video does not do the mica powder justice because these are gorgeous. So then I'm going to take my Star Bond thick adhesive. I apply it to the back of our birds, put the one up there, second one down below. I already put this down with my Valentine's Day decor. I mean, you could use it with any decor and it just looks so stunning. I love it. And it shows you just different things you can do with different molds. And she used flowers on hers. But look at how gorgeous this is. Just a little bit more detail on the roof. And then we got our birds that are so beautiful. So you guys, thank you so much for watching. Right, so for this one, this is a 2-pack of table runners I got on Amazon for like dirt cheap, y'all. Okay. And I am going to take this Dollar Tree bath mat. And this rabbit template is from a rabbit I cut out on my Cricut. This is like chipboard. And I was like, perfection. Already have something. So I just grabbed my permanent marker, traced it out. We're going to do 2 of these bunnies. And then I am cutting it out. And y'all know I've asked several times about scissors to cut fabric. And it's one of those things, you know, you are always in a store. And I tell myself like, nah, I don't want to spend money on it. And I don't use them all the time. And then I find myself like, oh man, these are like my kids' scissors. And they cut better than my usual scissors on my craft table. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do. So I finished cutting this. Now, I told myself the splotchiness like wasn't going to bother me. Well, it did. So then I found myself plucking the little fibers out of my scraps and then filling these little white holes with hot glue and pressing the fibers onto the rabbit. And as I kept going, I was like, no, it's not going to bother me. Oh, that one's fine. No, I had to cover the whole dang thing. So it'll take you a lot less time if things like that don't bother you. So I had to cut this runner down to size because it was too long for my table. So to cover that raw edge, I decided to take this ribbon from Dollar Tree. Now, the runner itself is very thin. The ribbon is very thin. So I grabbed my silicone mat and I'm going to put that under my my rabbit and my table runner so that it doesn't stick to my measuring mat. So I'm using my silicone spatula. I have those in my Amazon as well. There's like a 4-pack for I think $5. And I am going to run that ribbon down the ends of this just to make it look finished. And whatever I do on the right, I'm going to do on the left side. So now I'm just going to take my bunny. I'm just using this as kind of like a guide to keep it straight. And I am going to hot glue just sections at a time. I didn't want to try and put hot glue over the whole back and then try flipping it over. That just would have turned out to be a hot mess. So now I'm going to make a fabric flower. So as you can see, I just kind of twisted it in the middle. And now I'm going around in a circle. Now, as I go around, you'll see that I'm twisting my fabric and then applying hot glue and pressing it together. So again, I'm twisting the fabric, applying some hot glue, and then, so I'm just twisting as I go. Twist, hot glue, twist it up just to make it a little tighter. And you can do this with any kind of fabric. And this was just the excess of the table runner I had cut off. I'm going to glue that little bunny tail right there. And that was it, you guys. And this was so inexpensive. I think like in total $3 or something like that to make. Because I think this runner was really, really inexpensive. But this is already on my table. I love the way it looks. It's the first time I ever used a runner on my table. So I hope this inspired you to try it out as well. So first up are these beautiful candlesticks. Well, they ain't so beautiful. We're going to make them beautiful. They were $2.99 each from Savers. Y'all go check out your thrift stores. Do not be scared because I find candlesticks all the time for such a great deal. So I'm just cleaning these up with a baby wipe, making sure all of the oils, dirt, all of that stuff is off before we start painting. I am going to grab my DIY paint in the color Apothecary. I get this from Bree at upcycledbybrie.com. I'll leave the link down below if you want to check out these paints. Now, these paints are clay based, and what I love about that is that they are truly a matte paint. I love it. And to be honest, most of the time they only take about one coat to cover. So for example, these candlesticks, all I did was do one coat on there and that was it. I applied it with my chip brush. I personally like using the chip brush because I am able to get in all the nooks and crannies of the fine details that are in these candlesticks. So I'm going to tilt one over to the side just so you could get a better idea of what I'm talking about here. And you'll see as I'm going down, I could kind of like stipple in on all of those little details just to make sure that I'm covering everything. And it turns out so beautiful, and it dries down to be a little lighter than when it's wet. So now I'm going to take the DIY white wax. The difference between this and Waverly is going to be more of like a liquid consistency, whereas the DIY wax is more like buttery texture, fluffy, and you don't have to like wipe it with the towel afterwards because it's not liquidy. So I am just taking, again, a chip brush. I'm applying this white wax. It's going to help those details pop. It's also going to be our sealer for these candlesticks, and it just brings it to a whole another level, which I absolutely love. And I will show you a quick clip of just a little bit of the difference you see. So the one on the left has no wax on it, and then the one on the right does. So absolutely beautiful either way. If you didn't want to apply the white wax, you can definitely clear it with like a Rust-Oleum clear matte. So I am going to do, I guess, the same thing. I guess I wanted to show you the same thing for the other two candlesticks. And then we are going to move on to my favorite part, which is accessorizing. All right, for these, I am just taking Spanish moss. You are going to see Spanish moss up in this video like the entire time, okay? So grab like 2 bags of it. So I am just forming my own little nest. As you can see, I'm manipulating the sides. I am squeezing it together, making sure there's a hole in the middle. Next, I take this bird from Dollar General. After summer, these went 50% off, so they were only 50 cents. Regular price is only $1. So they're already getting their spring stuff out. So go grab you some of these. They're super, super lightweight. They're plastic, I guess. So anywho, painting the bird plaster. Then I'm going to dust the lightest coat of antique wax over it just to bring out the details of all of the feathers, the beak, the eyes. I want all those details to pop out again. So for this one, I'm just going to plop that right on top of our nest. And then we're going to do one more. Now, keep in mind, I'm not gluing any of this stuff to my candlesticks. So if you have kiddos or something, make sure these little candlesticks are somewhere where they don't get touched because I wanted to obviously reuse them. So I make another nest, put some eggs from Hobby Lobby on here, decorate one more of them, and you guys check out how stunning these are. I seriously had all intentions of putting these in my booth, but there is no way after seeing how they came out and the accessories I put on them, I'm selling them. These are staying in my home 100%. I think they're beautiful. Let me know what you think of this inspiration. Next is this beautiful strainer. Can you tell I was trying to get through some of my thrifting stuff? And I'm taking Cake Batter by DIY. I am going to do 2 coats on this metal surface here. And again, clay-based paint, dries beautifully. I'm going to show you as I'm drying it down. The paint always looks a little bit darker when it's wet, and then it dries down to be a lot lighter. So you could see how my color is changing, and it just looks so matte and chalky, like, oh, I love it. So after 2 coats, I'm going to dip into that white wax again with my chip brush. And just a little advice, whatever brush I use for my white wax, I just keep it in a Ziploc baggie, and then I'll bring it out again next time, and it's already, damp with the wax. And yeah, just a little tip. So after I am done coating all that, and remember you guys, this is our sealer. I don't have to spray anything. I don't have to clear it with polyacrylic. It's done. All right, now we're gonna take some floral foam. Now you guys know I don't usually glue floral foam down, but since this was round, and at first I was thinking I was going to put this in my booth to sell, I decided I'm going to glue it down. So since it's round, I had to cut little pieces to go around the main square. Now after this, we see the Spanish moss once again. This I don't glue in, because if y'all have been to a thrift store and bought like florals that this stuff is glued in, it's horrendous trying to get it off. So at least this way, if I did end up selling it later, they can just take it off and redo it if they wanted to. So I put some of the reindeer moss in there. I'm taking some scraps of greenery. These are some lavender pieces, I think from Walmart picks last year. And next, I'm going to grab some of the new Dollar Tree florals. At least they were new to me. Oh, no, sorry. I'm taking this bird. Also got it at the thrift store, and it was, I think, $1.99, and it fit perfectly. All right, now I'm going to take those florals. So I am just going to stuff a bunch of these in. I wanted it to look super full and vibrant. And you guys, again, these pieces, I mean, the strainer you could definitely find at a thrift store. You might have one that is all rusty that you can use, but take these as inspiration of like what to look for either around your house or next time you go thrifting or a garage sale, because look at how beautiful this turned out. Again, I'm not getting rid of this. This is staying in my house for spring. I love the vibe of this. I love the vibrancy of the florals as well. We're going to use these scalloped plastic plates from Dollar Tree. I got mine last year, but I have seen people haul them this year. And I'm going to use our Bubble stickers from Dollar Tree. Now, if you can't find these, you guys, get puffy paint and just create your own circles. You can put little dots, let it dry, and then paint over it, and you'll get the same effect. And you could get puff paint at any craft store, and they are super inexpensive. So that's another option if you can't find these stickers. So after I'm done doing that, we're going to use 3 plates total, and I just had just enough of these puffy stickers. I'm going to take Plaster by Waverly, a chip brush, and I am going to do 2 coats of paint on this. And I ended up doing 2 coats because I needed to cover the colors in those puffy stickers. So as most of you watch, I did do the stippling effect on the 2nd coat. After that, I'm going to take Pool by Waverly, a stencil paintbrush, and I am just going to flick that through my finger and give it a nice little cute speckled effect on the plates. You could also distress them. So many options you can do with this. Next, I'm going to take 3 different cutouts from Dollar Tree, the egg, the chick, and the bunny. Scrapbook paper of your choice, and this one came from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to trace those all out, and then we are going to cut them out. Next, take some Mod Podge. You could also use a glue stick. You could use a hot glue gun. You do you, boo, and do what works for you. But this was probably, it is going to go in my booth. So I wanted to make sure that I have longevity. We have Everly down here helping me out. And so I smoothed that down, sanded my edges, and then I'm going to go ahead and take that Mod Podge once again and coat the top so that we don't have that paper going anywhere when I try to sell it. Or I might send it to my girlfriend Joanna, don't know. Okay, so now I'm taking some twine. I wanted to add something additional. You guys know, like, It's hard for me to keep things just simple, but I mean, this was still pretty simple. So I wrapped the egg with some twine. I'm gonna go ahead and do a very easy finger bow for our bunny. I do have a video on that. I'm gonna make an updated bow video soon, you guys, in real time for those of you that have trouble making bows. And for the chick, I'm gonna do kind of like a little twine bow tie for this. Do you guys see this scrapbook paper? How cute are these little trucks with the flowers on the bed? Yes, spring. All right, so after that's done, we're gonna take some Jenga blocks, hot glue those to the back of our cutouts, and then we are just going to, yeah, I had to take that one off. Wasn't thinking ahead at this point. But you guys, I hope you enjoy these really easy crafts. I feel like these crafts are something you could accomplish in a weekend, no problem. I know that sometimes my crafts are a little bit more detailed, which I know people enjoy, but some of you like fast and easy. So here we go. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and hot glue those right to the middle. You do need something under them because the plates dip down in the middle, so they don't perfectly fit. Now taking this Dollar Tree sign, it is the like soft teal one that has the egg cut out on top. I believe it's new for this season. But what's nice about this is I did not have to paint it or do anything. If you do not have this sign, you can use a long Dollar Tree one and just paint it to your desired color. Hot glue our little plates on, and we are done. I love the simplicity of this. I love that it can be hung anywhere in the house, but like how cute would this be in the kitchen with like a bouquet of flowers like right next to it in a vase or something? Oh, so cute. This is a strainer from Dollar Tree. Originally, I spray painted it with a terracotta spray paint because I wanted it to look rusted. Then I was like, nah, that's not fitting my vibe. So I got the beadboard paint and I'm stippling around the edges of it. And then I go ahead and take, sorry, I'm so off camera. Take my brush and I just brush it on the inside of the strainer as well. Now I'm going to take this, I guess it's jute cord. This is the jute cord that I took off the metal planters from Dollar Tree. And I love using it because it's a lot thicker than your regular twine. So I'm going to wrap this all the way up. Now, once I get to the big hole on the top, I'm going to take some of that thinner twine from Dollar Tree and I'm going to hot glue it to the sides because I knew I wanted to cover this the hole up with the bigger jute cord. So I'm making another loop to hang this from. Then I'm going to go all the way up. We're going to glue that to the top. Cover all of the black. All right, you guys, this is where I take the air dry clay. And I was like convinced that these eggs were going to be so easy to make. Well, they weren't. You know those things that are really easy, but like you just make them so much harder. I don't know what it was. You see the egg shape take form, but to be honest, they came out looking like pebbles. I should have just bought pebbles. Or I have pebbles. I should have just used those. Anywho, I made 3 of them. And then I'm going to paint them in Nantucket Blue by Folk Art. Next, I'm going to take plaster and I'm going to make some speckles on these little eggs. The back of them's flat. Gosh, I was a hot mess making these. Next, I'm taking, this is a leftover pillowcase. I'm going to cut a circle out of it. And you'll see why we're going to do this. I'm going to take some Spanish moss, once again, make a nest, and I'm going to glue it to the cloth. I was thinking of a way to get this nest into the strainer without causing like a big old mess. So I thought of this. Just glue it to the fabric, put hot glue on the fabric, and then attach it to the strainer. And that worked very well. Took my silicone spatula, just clean that up on the back. Now I will take my, added some more greenery in there. And then I am going to add some little yellow greenery from Dollar Tree. Easy peasy. I just wanted more detail, like more for the eye to look at instead of there just being a nest and Easter eggs in there. So that's why I add the little detail of these little sprigs here. All right, then I hot glue our pebble eggs right into the nest so that they don't come plopping out when we hang it up. And the final addition is taking this cardstock. I cut it down to a small rectangle, I guess. I grabbed some antique wax, and at first I started stippling it on and then realized I grabbed a little bit more of it and started hitting the edges pretty hard. And then I started kind of blending it so that it was darker on the outside and then went lighter on the inside. Once it dried, I took it in my hand, I crumpled it up. I wanted it to look old and worn. And next I will grab these beautiful stamps from Dollar Tree. If you guys find these, pick them up. I applied some of my IOD ink on there, wrote spring, poked a hole in it, put some twine on there, and tied it to the top of my strainer. And look how cute this turned out to be. Why is the tag my favorite part of like this entire piece? I don't know, but like you can see like it even still looks like rust is coming through there. Love the whole vibe of it, even my pebble eggs. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Did you all know that your girl over here has a website? Yes, I do. I sell digital files on there. I do some shirts, some custom flannels, and in the next couple weeks, I will be bringing back my Thrifted Thursdays where I go thrifting. I post a lot of it online for you guys to purchase. I know that a lot of things are hard to find in different states. So go ahead and check that out. The link is in the description box for you, and let me know what you guys think about it. Free wood. You guys know I love my free wood. I stalk Facebook Marketplace on the daily for it. I jacked Megan from Glue Guns and Roses because I wanted to show y'all. I literally go on Facebook Marketplace, either search free wood or I search it so much it just pops up. And you can see right here, free wood pallets. I scroll up a little bit more, free wood pallets. And I am so lucky because I live in Kansas, so like barnwood is pretty accessible to me. These I found on the side of the road for free. So we're going to go ahead and build our box. What I did was the bottom piece, I took that and that's how I based my measurements off of. And then I measured, I'm going to call them my end caps. My end caps first and then my side panels second. So this is going to be super easy peasy, just like that spindle box we made. And I'm going to prop the end caps. At first I'm like, how am I going to do this? Do I want to build the frame first, attach it all to the bottom first? I'm always a hot mess and then I end up doing it the same way I always do it. So I take these end caps and you could see I have them sideways. And then I take my side piece, I'm going to staple 3, top, bottom, middle on each side here. You guys, invest in a nail gun. Mine is battery operated nail gun. And then we're just going to we're going to attach the second side. Now, if I were to be selling this in my booth, I would definitely have applied some wood glue on these pieces and then nailed it. But since it's for my personal use, I was totally fine with nails. If you don't have a nail gun, you can just use an old school hammer and nails and it works. Okay, so now I'm trying to fit the bottom in here and I'm like, no way. Like I measured this. I know it's supposed to fit. I'm like starting to freak out here. And then I just go rogue and I'm like, all right, I'm grabbing my my wire cutters and I'm just going to start like hammering the crap out of this. So I start like banging on the side, on the top, and finally like it pops in, you guys, like perfection. Fits snug as a bug in a rug, like seriously. And then I just get all like nail happy. And these nails do not show. These nails are so tiny. Even if they did show, I wouldn't care because it would look more rustic. But I'm just gonna go ahead and put all of the nails in here. And then you guys, our box, our centerpiece, it's done. And this was all for free. So now we're gonna decorate our box. So you guys know I have this like phobia about hot gluing styrofoam to things I'm gonna put florals in. So what I thought was I got these big white blocks from Dollar Tree. I cut them in half with a ruler and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get my industrial strength Velcro and I'm going to Velcro these to the bottom. So there's 6 pieces in total inside the box. I'm going to cut these down in little strips. And you guys, I think my phobia comes from like thrifting and always finding these beautiful like floral pieces, and then they have that nasty old foam in them, and usually they are so hard to get out that like I just don't ever want to glue anything. So we did Velcro. So after I'm done with that, I get these like iridescent bunnies. I got these from Walmart for $4.98 each. And I didn't realize how long this box was when I when I envisioned all of this, but we made it work. So I grab lamb's ear from Walmart, the little sparkly Easter eggs, and I think they're called cattails, the pink cattails are from Dollar Tree. And I start building, like I do a little on the right, a little on the left. And I tried a different camera angle, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I thought this would give you a better view of what I was doing, but I ended up changing it back to my usual. So I ended up, because this box was so big, I got a big LED candle that I got at Savers and plopped that in the middle. Then I filled it with my greens first. So that lamb's ear, I put a couple dark pieces of leaves in there. And then I grabbed these peonies. These are on my Amazon store and my Amazon Craft Live that I'll link down in the description box. So I grabbed some of those, and then I realized why people usually work with green foam instead of the white, because the white is super hard to hide. So I learned that. So as you can see, like I'm building on to like the right, and then I'll stick like that other peony on the left to try to kind of even it out. However many Easter eggs I put on the right, I put on the left. And of course, that is just how I do my arrangements. You do you, boo, and you decorate. But I had so much fun creating this. It was a lot more florals and stuff than I had imagined. So right here, I needed to fill. You could see like the white styrofoam peeking through. So I grabbed these Dollar Tree pieces. They're like frosted. I don't know. Some of them are yellow. Some of them look lavender. So I cut all of the stems off and then use these as my filler. I also grabbed, if you see up top, the bright purple lavender. Those look so realistic, you guys. I added those in, and look at how gorgeous. This is my absolute favorite piece I'll probably ever make for Easter. And you guys could only imagine how much something like this would cost on like Kirkland's or just any store. I am blown away, and I am definitely patting myself on the back because I've never made anything that looks like this before. I'm going to take out those IOD stamps once again. I am taking out my air dry clay and I am rolling that out. It is pretty thin, okay? Then taking my crockery stamp, I'm going to place that over. I take my rolling pin and roll it over so that I could get that imprint of the stamp into my clay. Then I'm just kind of doing a squiggly cut around thing. I don't know, nothing special. All right. Next, I got these wall pockets from Hobby Lobby. You guys, they were brand new for $2.99 and at Savers. So taking the Star Bond, I apply that to the back. I'm going to go ahead and stick that on. Look at how easy that is. It's crazy how you can transform something that's like totally modern into what we're going to turn it into. So see, only $2.99. This thing was brand new, still had the $10 tags on it, still had the cardboard covering like the hangers on the back. And I was like, yes, ma'am, buying these for $3 for sure. So I am then taking our linen white once again, and I am painting the stamp, the clay. Why am I drawing a blank? Anyways, I'm going to paint this, and I'm going to paint over the metal. I'm going to leave all the wood in its natural glory, And after that, I'm going to take our gray wax with a Dollar Tree stencil brush and I'm going to run that over. Now I am using the lightest amount. I'm dipping it in the wax, then brushing the excess off on my doggy pee pad. And then I am rubbing it over the mold as well as the base and the top of this wall pocket. You just really want it to pop out. And on this one, I think I made the clay a little too thin, so it cracked, but that's okay to me. I'm like, it makes it look more realistic and old and lived in, you know? Not that you're living in a wall pocket, but you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. So after see how it just makes all the letters and everything pop so much? I love that. All right, you guys, I went from like having a phobia about gluing styrofoam into things to now gluing every styrofoam into everything. So I put some more floral foam in there. Again, a very generous amount of Spanish moss. I've been going through Spanish moss like nobody's business lately. And again, with that beautiful lavender, like for these wall pockets which were a decent size, I used one pick for each pocket, and you're able to cut the picks into 2 pieces and use even more of the lavender to create a fuller look. So again, highly recommend this lavender, and it's a great price. All right, you guys, so that was the last one. I hope you guys are digging these French farmhouse, cottage, country DIYs, so they say it's called these days. But I really hope you enjoyed them. I love them. I know I'm keeping these for myself and using them in my decor for spring. So you guys, thank you so much for being here and watching. I hope you have an amazing week, and I will see you back here. For this DIY, we're going to start out with this Goodwill box. It was $3.99, and I loved it because when it opens, the top actually stays propped open. So with all old things, I cleaned it off very well. Then I'm going to grab shellac, and I'm going to give this a good coat of shellac. This is going to block any of the tannins, oils, all of that stuff from coming through. While that dries, I grab my IOD molds. And now I'm going to dust this mold with some cornstarch. That's going to help the air dry clay not stick to our silicone molds. Now, I read every one of your guys' comments, and you guys have taught me a lot about using air dry clay. And one was to essentially just push it in and use my finger to flatten the back out and pull it around like the edges. And I will say this works so much better. It's easier than using the rolling pin. So thank you very much for the tips and tricks you guys have left in my comments for using these. So I'm going to make a couple of these. I think we're going to make 4 or 5 of the molds. And I am just going to flip my mold upside down. And as you see, they kind of like pop out on their own. I'm giving them a little bit of help. Sorry if you guys hear Hank. Kids are outside playing. And then to smooth, usually I use a craft knife, but you all said just use your finger to smooth those rough edges down. So that's what I did here, and it worked just as well. So while these are still damp, the clay that is, I am going to grab my Star Bond super glue, and I'm going to adhere these to the eggs. Now, something I did learn was the first 2 that I applied to the eggs, the clay was very thick. And then as I started making more of them, I started thinning out the backs of my molds so that they weren't so thick. And then they formed so much better to my eggs. So you can see I'm just kind of lightly pressing down, forming that to our eggs. Now this is one that I said, like I went thinner on the back, and it was like flawless, and it's even bigger than the first 2 that I did. So you'll see like it just molded. Oh, I love it. And again, these are iron orchid molds. I will leave, Vonda sends me mine. I will leave her website down in the description box, and I'll try leaving the direct link to these molds on her website if she has them in stock. So again, all right, now where are we going? Okay. So now I'm getting our eggs. I am getting some, these are just like branches from florals that I've picked off along the way. This is gonna, one, make it easier to paint them and dry them. And two, we'll already have them set up to stick into our box. So I'm using beadboard by DIY. I get this from upcycledbybrie.com. And I am going to go ahead and I give the eggs 2 coats of this paint. And I did that because they did have speckles on them and I didn't want the speckles to show. So make sure you're hitting the clay as well, or else it'll show up as 2 different whites. Next, I take this gray wax that my amazing subscriber Nancy sent me recently. Comment down below if you know a comparable one down in the comments, you guys. This one is actually from Canada, so I don't think a lot of us can get it. But you can see I'm just using my stencil brush and I'm lightly coating this on, and it's just going to let all of those details pop right out of those molds so you can really see every detail. All right, now moving on to our box while all of that dries, I am going to paint the inside of this box with elephant gray. I chose to do that because it was kind of like a cherry wood color, and I knew it would take like 3 coats of paint just to get this white. So the inside I do with elephant gray. Then I'm going to go on the inside edges. I'm just kind of following where the different colors were previously. And then I'm going to do 1 coat of that, again, beadboard by DIY, on all of the outside of this box. I only do 1 coat because I kind of want to see it had like a texture on it. I wanted to see that. So I coated the inside lid with white wax by DIY. I also do the bottom. Don't know why I did the bottom, you guys. And then taking my finger, I get that gray wax and I go on all of the raised edges. I didn't want to do it with a paintbrush because I didn't want it on every single piece of white that was showing. I just wanted it on those raised edges. So using my fingers worked out perfectly for me. So next I'm going to get some styrofoam. I do glue it to the bottom. Next, ta-da! I swear like all of my DIYs have Spanish moss now, so make sure you're stocked up. And I'm going to get that Spanish moss and I'm going to put it around the block. And I got that block at Dollar Tree, Spanish moss at Dollar Tree. And I am then going to, I'm going to start adding my eggs, and then I'm going to add some leaves. And then as I'm like, I keep adding, I'm like, oh, it needs more. So then I get this baby's breath from Dollar Tree. And then I add those to our box as well. I just wanted this to look super full and elegant. And I am blown away by how this turned out, you guys. Look at how stunning this is. Look at the birds, the rose. Look at her in the pendant. Oh my gosh. I am obsessed with this piece. I always do things with the intention of you're going to sell this in your booth, and then it turns out and I'm like, how can I let go of this? It's absolutely stunning. This one's going to be easy peasy Dollar Tree squeezy. We're going to start out with these beautiful glasses from Dollar Tree. This one was definitely inspired by a Pinterest post I saw. They were using mercury like wine glasses and they were stunning. So we're grabbing that beadboard and I'm going to do like a stippling effect on this. And so instead of brush strokes, I am stippling my brush. This one helps get into all the details. And 2, I feel like it gives it this unique texture, I guess. It kind of makes it look like stone, which I love. So that's how I do it. I do it with a chip brush. And then I'm going in with that same gray wax. You'll see a trend here. And I'm brushing that over all of the raised edges to bring out the beautiful details in this cup. I have had these for a while, but I do see them at Dollar Tree all the time. So definitely pick up some. And y'all, you can do these any color you want. All right. After that, I'm going to stuff a couple paper towels in our glasses to get some height in there. And then ta-da! Spanish moss. And then after I put the Spanish moss in there, I am going to put some reindeer moss. I need to find another bag of this, you guys, like the soft reindeer moss, not that nasty, like crumbly stuff. And then I'm going to grab some eggs. I got this pack of eggs at Hobby Lobby. It was $5.99. I know, but like they didn't have any of their Easter stuff on sale yet. But you guys, that's it. That is absolutely it. And imagine this as like a tablescape using all different glassware painted and arranged with different color eggs on it, reindeer moss, Spanish moss, and then some greenery in between that. It would look absolutely gorgeous. So I've seen this on Pinterest, on Facebook groups. I mean, I've seen these little people everywhere. So I knew I had to try my hand at them. So these are from Dollar Tree. They're like the paneled little eggs. I'm going to do one in plaster, and then one of them I'm just going to leave the yellow color. So after I'm done painting this one, I'm going to take these little hearts. So get out that Valentine's Day stash again. You can also cut out felt hearts if you want, cardstock. You don't have to have these cutouts. But I chose to use them, and I'm going to paint them pumpkin by Waverly, at least one set of them. I'm only going to show you one of them. And I then take the antique wax. I'm going to hit the edges. I didn't want them like this bright orange, so I hit the edges and kind of took the excess and ran it over the middle of them. I'm going to paint 3 total actually, you guys, so keep that in mind, 3 total. So we're going to glue our feet on. Then with the third heart, I'm going to cut the little round, see, parts off the top. It was just too big to keep them on there. And I'm going to use this as our bird, duck, chick, whatever you want to call it. I am going to use it as the beak. So after I'm done painting that, I get my detailed glue gun, which makes it super easy and mess free, and attach that right in the middle. Now, it took me a while. I was like, what do I want to use for hair? I've seen people use fur. I've seen like all different things. I decided to go with this burlap, and it looks super scary when you first put it on, but it ends up coming together. So you can see it looks like, oh goodness, girl, what you doing with that? But we will cover and make it look pretty, okay? So I take this lemon ribbon, create another finger bow, attach that with hot glue. See, it doesn't look so bad afterwards. And then here's our white one. That one, we're gonna do pink feet. So I decided to just draw on my eyes with a permanent marker. You can use beads, you could use buttons. I tried all of that, and in the end, I was like, I'm just gonna stick with that. So now to make it stand, I'm taking 2 Jenga blocks, one laying down, one on its side, and then I'm going to glue this kind of at an angle. At first I didn't, and I had to end up like taking it off because it wasn't standing up properly. And then I glued it at an angle, and it ended up working perfectly. And you guys, these are going to be so cute to do with your kids. They have low temp glue guns out there you could buy like at Walmart and stuff, so that your kids can, you know, get in on the fun. But like, how cute is she with her little eyelashes in the pink? Oh my gosh. Let me know what you guys think of these. I think they're absolutely adorable. These eggs from Dollar Tree. I am going to glue this together. I was watching Overboard while I was making this, and it just made time fly. I love Goldie Hawn. Okay, so we're going to hot glue that together. Now, I'm going to take elephant gray, and I'm going to paint elephant gray first. And the reason I did this was because I always feel like when you put gray on a bright color and you put white over that, it actually, what am I trying to say? Anyway, so instead of putting like 3 coats of white to cover the pink up, I cover it with gray, and then I'll cover it with white. I'm a mess. All right, now taking more Dollar Tree stickers, I am just going to go around. So I'm going on the outside of where the two sides meet. Then I'm going to take another strand of those stickers and do the same thing on the opposite side of the crack. So I was trying my best to cover up the crack, but I wanted like it to be thicker. That's why I chose to do 2 instead of just putting 1 over the line. So next, again, we're using beadboard and that wax for everything here. So I am going to cover the Easter egg, and then I cover the base of my candlestick, only doing one coat because again, I'm not scared if a little bit of that gray comes popping through because I'm going to be using the gray wax anyways. So we're going to go ahead and let that dry. I'm going to take my crockery stamps from IOD. I'm going to apply the IOD ink in black to it. And then I'm going to stamp it onto white tissue paper. Now make sure you have something under that because it will go through and it will stain. So I do that, I cut it out. Unfortunately, y'all, my camera stopped filming when I was actually applying it to the egg. So I'm going to link one of my IOD videos down below so you could see how to apply a tissue paper stamp to a glass piece. So essentially this is what I did, you guys. I applied it, I got that gray wax, went around, and then I hot glued it to my candlestick base. So now to cover where the base and the egg meet, I am going to cut some strips of lace. I'm going to get a couple strips of the twine, and I am going to put those around the bottom, tighten a tight bow, and then you are going to have yourselves this really fancy bougie Easter egg, which I love. And you can see like the tissue paper stamp, it looks seamless. Like you cannot tell. I did cut as close as I could to my image, applied the Mod Podge to the back, and then lightly brushed it on the top to kind of smooth it out. And I grabbed one of these. I guess it would be like a tray, but I got them from a garage sale. They were like $1 each. So y'all hit up those garage sales, thrift stores. I find these things, basket thingies like this all the time. So I am just going to do one coat of plaster over this entire thing. I'm not trying to get full coverage. I like the dimension that it gives you, having like that little bit of that natural color pop through. And then I'm going to take the back of a Dollar Tree sign. I keep everything, and this is exactly why. So I am going to paint this with plaster as well. I'm going to go ahead and do 2 coats of it. I do hit the sides with the rough sanding block just to kind of get those imperfections away. Bless you, Momo. Okay, so like I said, we're going to do 2 coats of this. I don't end up covering the back because seriously, it does not show at all. And you all know I would cover it if it did. So then taking our antique wax, I'm just going to hit the sides, go over the top of it just a little bit. I think it just gives it a little bit more, but if that ain't you, do you? All right, so now I'm going to take floral wire from Dollar Tree. I'm going to find the placement on the basket, and I'm going to staple this to the sign. Now, this sign is a little thin, so the staples went through, but don't worry, it doesn't show. We cover it. So as I put this staple in, I twist it around so that our floral wire doesn't just come slipping through the staple. Now I'm going to find the placement. I'm just going to feed these through the little holes in our tray here. And this was so easy to do. And then as I take it through the back, I just twist it nice and tight. I do the same thing for the opposite side. And next, you guys, we do the florals. Now, at first, I was sticking these through, just trying to figure out placement. Okay, I think I got this huge bouquet at Walmart. So as I'm sticking them through, I'm like, wow, this is exactly like when I do grapevine wreaths. And you guys know, if you've watched my videos before, if I don't have to glue something, I don't want to, because I want to be able to reuse it again. And as I'm sticking these through, I'm like, well, these are wired picks. So I just turn it around and I end up cutting these stems down and then feeding it through the weave of the basket. And these held up so tight and so nice. So I was excited, you guys, because now I'm like, I could take these flowers out, I could take this sign off, and I can make this into something every season if I wanted to. So I do the top, and to balance it off, I start again with the bigger flower, the peony, And then I will build off of that flower and dress it up with some of these fillers. And you guys, I love how this turned out. I love how simple it was. And like I said, hit up those thrift stores, Goodwill, Savers. You'd be shocked by what you find. And if you live in an area that has nice weather, go to those garage sales, yard sales. Oh my gosh, I love this. So then to hang this, I get the floral wire. Again, I feed it through the weaves of the basket. I go on one side, I'm going to twist it up nice and tight. Then I go to the other side and I make it so that you cannot see the hanger at all. So when I hang this, it's just going to look like the basket's hanging there. You're not going to see twine or any of that. I then put this Hello vinyl decal. This font is About Love. I have no idea what color this vinyl is at all. And then we're done. Look at how gorgeous that came out. And I might put this on my front door. I have a storm door, so I'm not worried about like the sign getting damaged or anything. But I love how bright it is. I love how simple. And this is exactly like why we get inspired. Like we make things our own. I hope you guys like that one. Okay. This one, we're going to grab a bunny cutout from Dollar Tree. I'm going to trace this bunny, trace the bunny out. And then we're going to cut out the scrapbook paper. I'm going to apply it with Mod Podge. I do put it on the bottom. And then once I apply the paper, I put it on the top. Next, I grabbed this oval wood piece from Dollar Tree. I'm only going to put one coat of steel gray by Waverly on here, also making sure to get those sides so it looks nice and finished. After that's dry, I grab these pearl stickers from Dollar Tree, and I love these because they're very flexible. So as you can see, like as you're going around the curves, they go on nicely. They don't buckle or anything like that. So I'm going to follow this all the way around. I don't paint over it. I leave it nice and beautiful. I then take my ruler. I'm going to make some little shiplap lines here. And you guys, like I said, like this is just the colors that I'm going with. But like if you're going to use sage green this year or turquoise, like you can make these all of those colors. So just, keep that in mind when watching it. It's just for inspiration here. So I rub those lines. I'm going to go ahead and attach our little cute bunny here. So cute. All right. And next I take this frame. I got this from a garage sale this summer for 75 cents. I'm going to use beadboard once again and my chip brush. And I'm going to once again stipple this on. The mirror was actually glued to the frame, which was fine because I was going to paint the mirror, the glass anyways, so it all worked out. So I'm going to paint the front. I only do one coat because I'm going to distress this with that gray wax anyways, so I didn't mind if that black kind of showed through. All right, no, I feel like I did two coats. Yeah, I did two coats. All right, so now here we are with that gray wax once again, Dollar Tree stencil brush. And I'm just hitting all those raised edges. You can do this with antique wax as well. So many options, or just dry brushing a different brighter color on. That could look cute as well. So after that's done, we're just gonna grab that oval. We are going to hot glue it directly on to the glass piece of our frame. And that is all. And look at how gorgeous and regal and like, you look awesome. Like, ooh, I love this piece. I love the frame. This thing is like so heavy. And I just love how it all came together. Let me know what you guys think about this. And if this is totally your style. I wanted to stop in and let you guys know that I do have a membership group. I have member-only lives, custom badges, and emojis. I share SVG files used in videos and also more than just what I use in videos. There's also member-only polls and first look at some projects and videos. The link is located right underneath this video if you want more details on that. From me. So we're gonna make 8 rows of 5 Jenga blocks. You could stain them if you want. We are gonna end up painting these. I am using wood glue, and as you can see, wood glue takes about like 5 minutes to set up. So instead of like touching them and picking them up, I'm just sliding them over so I can continue on to the rest of them. So after those are dry, then you're gonna take 2 of them. One you're going to put up on its side, and the other one is going to be flat on your table, so that you're making a corner essentially. And then you're going to use your wood glue. I highly recommend wood glue or super glue, not hot glue, or this is going to fall apart on you. And you're going to continue to do that for the rest of them. So you should have basically 4 pieces when you're done. Now, I'm going to take a Dollar Tree sign. I painted this because you guys know I like a finished look, but you don't really see this at all. So if you don't want to paint it, you don't have to, because you seriously don't see the inside at all. But this is going to be the base of our lantern. Now I'm taking those corners we made, and you guys, the top piece is just another Dollar Tree sign I popped the back out of. And I am going to take my Star Bond super glue. I'm going to attach all of my corners to the bottom of the sign. So you can see the bottom of the sign actually has the backing still in there. And then again, just attaching the corners on here. Hers looks so flawless, and oh my gosh, I'll let you know the part I was starting to curse under my breath. But then I apply the super glue on the top. I attach the one side first. I make sure that's good and solid. Then as you can see, I have to kind of pull those corners out so that it fits the top frame perfectly. And you can see how cute. It's already coming together, right? So I'm going to take this outside. I spray it with Serenity Blue chalk paint. All right, this is when I start cursing under my breath. So I had this chicken wire. It was from like Hobby Lobby. One, it wasn't wide enough to cover the entire thing. Megan like just sets hers in there. Well, since mine was too small for this, I had to staple it. I had to hot glue the bottom piece to like get it to stay, since I couldn't reach the staple that far down. And you guys, this was just like that moment where you're like, do you keep going? Do you give up? And I was like, no, you're sticking through it. We already put the Jenga blocks together. We are going. So after I finally get all the chicken wire in there, I hit the lantern with some plaster, just kind of, giving it a little bit of whitewash, covering my imperfections. Now, Megan's looks like one piece. You don't really know it's Jenga blocks because she said she put super glue over and then sanded it. So right here you could see, since I had to staple all these pieces in there, I was like, I can't leave the top exposed. So I took the back of my Dollar Tree sign that I popped out of the top piece, and this wood piece came from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to glue that on, and then I'm going to take the finial cap, which came from Walmart. I'm going to put that right in the middle. I'm going to spray this with that Serenity Blue chalk paint. I'm going to take whitewash over it, dry brush over that. And next I just put some Spanish moss in there. I put some eggs I painted last year, some eggs I got at Savers. And then my little added touch, because you guys know I couldn't just leave it like that. I get these little flower they remind me of, you guys, what are the weeds that grow out in the grass that are yellow flowers, but like, you could chew the stem and they're really sour. Okay, is that just me? I'm the one that picks weeds and chews on them. Okay. Anyways, I take these and then I just kind of push them through just to add another element to it, so it's not so plain. It adds more dimension, and I really love how this comes together. Let me know what you guys think. See, the lid, I like the lid. I think that adds a little something extra. It covers up all of these staples and the mess I made, But I really, really love how this turned out. Even my whole setup, I would probably leave it just like that. For this next one, I am going to take some sand from the Dollar Tree. You guys, do as I say, not as I do, because I'm like mixing this sand and this elephant gray, and I am being completely lazy using a plate when I know it's not going to work. So I start using my hands. You guys, your girl is a hot mess. Then I get my butt up and I go get a bowl, put some elephant gray in there, mix a little bit of sand, and I finally get the texture I want. I'm just using my chip brush. I apply this over the terracotta pots from Dollar Tree. And you guys, this gives this like such an amazing, beautiful texture. Look at that. And it dries very quickly. I'm going to do this on, I think, 5 terracotta pots total. Let them dry. After they are done drying, I'm then going to get my Rust-Oleum linen white chalk paint and I'm going to go around. And I really love this because you got to see all of the texture over or under the white, and then that gray was peeking through. It just turned out very beautiful. And you could do this with any colors of your choosing. I just highly recommend to do like contrasting colors because it just makes it pop a little bit more. After that, so I wanted to use this scrapbook paper as some labels, but it was so thin. So what I did was I just took a glue stick and I'm going to glue it onto some cardstock just so I have a thicker base to it. Then taking just a paint bottle cap, I traced that out for my circle. Super easy peasy. Use what you got, you guys, right? Like whatever's around me. I'm like, oh, that's an opportunity. I'm going to use that instead of getting my butt up. And then so next I'm going to take some rub-on transfers from Dollar Tree and I'm going to rub those right over our little cutouts. Then taking our twine, I'm going to double this up. And the reason I'm doubling it up is because I wanted there to be just a little something more for that number to adhere to. So I got hot glue, stuck my number on, and then now I'm just taking that twine and tying it around my my pot. Now that that's done, stuff some green floral foam in those babies. I love the green floral foam from Dollar Tree. I'm going to take a healthy amount of Spanish moss. I wanted this to look messy and rustic. I guess not rustic. Rustic isn't the word, but I definitely wanted it to look like messy and natural. So I put some hot glue on top of that floral foam. Okay, you guys, this is the lavender from Amazon, and I showed it on my Amazon Live. It's in my description box, and this stuff looks so real. I mean, it is the most beautiful lavender. So if you haven't been able to find it at the Dollar Tree, check out the lavender that I have in my Amazon store. So I am just making these kind of look full, stuffing a good amount into these. And I'm going to repeat that process for all of my pots. And you could do these with any florals. It doesn't have to be lavender. I think this would be gorgeous with just greenery. Even yellow would be so pretty like during summertime. But I love the way these turned out. And these two, I told John, I said I can't get rid of them. I already have a vision for them on a tray just like this with a bunch of book stacks layered out, some books open, and then these out with my little cute birds that I painted. So nope, they're not going in my boot. Okay, our last one. Different. So I'm going to start off with this Dollar Tree egg from last year. I'm going to take it apart. We'll save that little egg for a different project. I'm going to feed some twine through the top hole. That way it's already there. We have something to hang it from and we don't have to worry about it later. Then I grabbed my nautical rope. I chose, well, I only have one nautical rope, let's be real. The 8-foot strand, I want to say it probably took like 3 or 4. I started using like my odds and ends that I had left over from that bunny rug I made. So you guys, I started, wrapping this thing and I cut it off. I didn't think you guys wanted to watch it all. But as I started coming down to like the bottom curves, it started this slant, right? So then I started on the other side and then this happened. I don't know what happened, but how I say everything happens for a reason because we add something to cover that up and it's perfection. So I'm going to grab this bunny DIY sign. Again, this is from last year. My stores still have not gotten like any of the new Easter signs in. So I'm just using what I have. So I am going to attach the bunny just with hot glue. And as you saw, we're going to cover the holes with one of the carrots. And you guys, this DIY is so easy because we're literally doing nothing to the sign itself. All we're doing is wrapping it, and then we're going to add some embellishments, which you'll see. So I glue that to the top to cover the holes. Then we will glue the little Easter part. And good thing this happened because I definitely wasn't paying attention to which one said happy and which one said Easter. Just, let's be real. All right, so now I'm going to grab some orange burlap ribbon from Dollar Tree. This other ribbon is from Walmart during Halloween. I just hot glue it into a cylinder, or I call it a cylinder. I don't know what you call it. All right, anywho. So I'm going to grab that, and then we're going to just scrunch both of these pieces together. We're going to grab some twine, and we are going to wrap it around the middle. And this is like the cutest bow. I think it brings it up a notch from the one that she came with. And then we cut the remainder of that twine off, and then we'll hot glue that to where that little hole is in her head. Look at how that just brings it up just a little bit. I won't say the dreaded word high end. I know so many people hate that. So I say I'll take it up a notch. All right. I was actually watching Holly from Hot Humble Pie, and she was saying to do this to the carrots instead of the raffia because it brings it up a notch. Again, there I say it again. But it really does. Like, it gives these carrots a whole different look. These are the smaller ones, again, that I had last year. This year, I believe they came out with a bigger version in a 4-pack. But this is just boxwood leaves. And now, to cover this hole that I created, I am just taking boxwood leaves. These are from Walmart. And I am going to arrange them in there with some hot glue to cover that up. And like I said, everything happens for a reason because I really love how this ended up coming out. And then I'm just going to hot glue 2 carrots to the side, and we are done. And y'all, this thing came out this thing is so heavy. But anyways, I hope you love it. This really is an easy DIY, especially if you can wrap this around without creating a hole. Then you don't have to add the boxwood or the carrots either. So a great beginner's craft, but it looks so good. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Okay. All right, taking these, I found these at a garage sale for 25 cents each, and I actually got all 4 prints. I looked these up on eBay, and they were selling for $100 for the 4. But y'all, they meant way more to me as craft pieces because some of them, not all of them were $100. Some were like $10 and something like that. So I just decided to craft with them. So I'm going to go ahead and clean these up. Do y'all remember seeing these like in the kitchen and stuff? Okay. Anyways, so I'm going to coat this with burnt umber, and I'm going to paint both of them in this color, getting the sides as well. And we're going to do 2 coats. That's what it looks like after 2 coats. We're going to go ahead and let that dry. And then we're going to come in with painter's tape. Now, y'all, this is such an easy project. I get it. But I wanted to show you how easy it is to create a high-end framed sign without having to use any wood. So we are creating with this painter's tape a faux frame for our signs we're going to make. And it's as easy as just taking painter's tape, however thick you want it. You can even overlap them. You could put multiple layers to get multiple lines on here. I just thought it was worth sharing with y'all that don't, cut wood and all that stuff. It comes out amazing. So after we're done with that, I am taking my linen white chalk paint again. And I'm using my foam roller. We're gonna go ahead and put some even coats. Make sure not to get outside of your painter's tape like your girl did. And we're gonna go ahead and do 2 coats of this. And then look at those crisp lines. Now I did bring up a little bit, but don't worry. We are gonna doctor that up. We're just gonna get a paintbrush, get that burnt umber, and we are completely fine there. But look at how crisp these lines look. Look at how clean this looks. It already looks like it's framed out. It's absolutely insane. So now I'm gonna go ahead and clean up my white marks that I decided to get everywhere. Girl, you should have known that. Okay, now you guys, I made these all on my own on Cricut. So for those of you that have a Cricut maker, I will link or try to, and I swear it never works for me, the image down, you know what I'm talking about, the files down below. And then for those of you that don't, I will have these on my Etsy shop. Give me until Monday and I will have them posted there for you. I love the way that these designs turned out. Pat myself on the back again. And I'm just using 651 permanent vinyl for this. And that is Vinyl Ease. All of this stuff you can find down in the description box in my Amazon store link. And I'm going to go ahead and repeat the process for our other sign as well. And these turn, Mama has to get a snack. Hello. And these turn out so beautiful. Look at these. Come on. Do these not look like they wouldn't be sold at Hobby Lobby or Michael's or somewhere else? And that framed look is it looks. So taking 3 of these pumpkins from fall, I'm so glad I held on to some of these because I knew I would need them. So I take some hot glue, heat gun to take the tops off. Then I take it outside and I totally sand all of the glitter and the stickers off. I then am going to take some plaster by Waverly and I'm going to just give these one coat. I wanted mine. She chose some very bold and beautiful colors. I wanted to kind of keep like a rustic theme to my DIYs, keep them a little cohesive. So I'm going to do mine plaster. We're going to paint the front and the back so that we have a finished looking piece. And then I'm going to take my antique wax and my stencil brush from Dollar Tree and we are going to hit those edges. Now I don't go over the entire block with antique wax. I just want to emphasize the edges of my block so that when I put the letters and stuff, it really pops. So I love the way that this ended up coming out and looking. Sorry, I'm running out of breath here, you guys. All right, and then I just hit the sides as well. All right, now don't kill me, but I've had these bunnies for over a year. Didn't find myself using them. So I decided, you know what, instead of keeping them in my stash, I'm going to rip the ears off of them. Wendy ended up tracing out ears, so that's an option too. But this just made this DIY like 10 times easier, let's face it. So I cut the ears off and then all I do is I play around with placement. Like some of them have like an ear tilted to the side. One of the blocks, both ears are straight up. So just have fun with it. Give these little bunnies some personality, but I scored having these because it really did make this DIY super easy. So here our bunnies are. Now I didn't have the little bunny tails from Dollar Tree. I also was beyond too lazy to make pom-poms myself. So I was like, how can I make this a little different with what I have? So I have these wood flowers. These are from Dollar Tree, you guys, from Dollar Tree. And I hot glued these on. Now, make sure to stand them up when you hot glue because once I stood them up, I realized that I put the flowers too far down and they were toppling over. All right, then I'm going to create just raffia bows. I just wrap the raffia around my hand 3 times, use a piece of it to wrap around the middle for our bow, and then I just kind of, fluff it, scrunch it up to make it look more full, and then I hot glue that to the top. Now, Wendy uses these really beautiful kind of like lace, raffia, ribbon bows. But again, that's what's nice about these DIYs is you can really make them your own. Like hers looks completely different than mine, but like my look in my home is more like this. So I love that you can take the bones of a DIY and make it your own. All right, so we're almost done here. We are just going to take these wood letters from Dollar Tree, a baby wipe antique wax, and then we are going to stain these up. You can also use the black sticker letters from Dollar Tree, vinyl, or make a stencil as well. So I hot glue these to the center. At first I was like, ooh, are these too small for this? But I actually liked that like I don't know, they were like front and center and they really popped to me anyways. So this is how my version came out. I love their rustic look. They kind of remind me of my IOD pumpkin, like 2x4 pumpkins. I love it. I love the addition of the pink little bunny tail with a flower, and I hope you guys like them too. Make sure to check Wendy out. So check her out. So I'm going to use the wagon wheel. You guys, I've had this wagon wheel forever because everybody wanted it. So I was like, well, I need it too. And then it's been sitting in my basement. So thank you, Tanya, for putting this to use for me. So in her video, she actually takes her florals and uses zip ties. I've always used floral wire, but I'm like, thank you, because this makes it so much easier. And then like the random pieces where I kind of wanted them to stay put is where I got the floral wire and then kind of, you know, tacked it down with that instead. So this is just my boxwood from Walmart. It's super inexpensive for a bundle. I actually picked up more this weekend. So I'm going to, zip tie this down. And then we are going to take the ever loving flocking balls. You guys remember when the flocking balls came out and everybody was searching them? I had amazing subscribers that sent me so many, so thank you. So I'm taking the yellow ones and I'm taking my floral wire and I am going to attach them to this, I don't even know if this is a wagon wheel per se. I'm just going to keep calling it that. Now with the flocking balls, you guys, make sure that you hot glue the actual ball, and see how I like hot glued it to the stem as well, because they fall off very easily. So I'm going to put 4 flocking balls total on our wreath. And you guys, this is where creativity, put flowers on there if you want, put daisies. I mean, it's totally up to you. All right. Now I'm going to take this ribbon from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to do 3 full loops around, cut that excess off. And then I am going to grab 2 more strands. I'm going to finish my ribbon off here. We're going to fold the bottoms together, cut downwards to get our dovetail. Easy peasy, right? So I'm going to put those in an X shape. I'm going to cut little notches right in the middle of the 3 loops. Stack that on top of each other. Then I ran out of that ribbon, so I just grabbed this burlap one. I'm going to hot glue it together to make a little cylinder. I'm going to stack that on top of our bow, right in the middle. There you go. Take a zip tie, flip it around, and then I'm going to tighten it. Always make sure that it's nice and where you want it before you tighten it all the way. And so easy, right? And then you just pull all of your little loops out. Makes it so easy. Now, there was part of me that was like, I should have done this with like the orange ribbon to make it look more Easter springy, but then I kind of like how it just all comes together and you could use this wreath so much longer. So then I just zip tie it to the wagon wheel. There we go. So cute. Look at how adorable that is. Yes, ma'am. All right, so now taking, I had 3 birdhouses exactly, just like Tanya. So I was like, yes, this was meant to be. So I'm taking Cashew by Waverly. And at first I thought this would be enough. And I was like, I'm not liking this. So then I grabbed black. This is Rich Black by Folk Art. And I'm going to paint all 3 of the roofs with the black. I just thought it added a little dimension, made it go a little bit more with the black and cream color bow I chose. But you know, you do you. Make these colorful decoupage on them. Put some clay molds on these birdhouses. You know, like so many options to do with these birdhouses. So after I'm done painting all 3 of those, you guys, funny story. So my husband's downstairs while I'm crafting. And Tanya uses a wood burning tool to put the holes in the back of her houses. And I'm asking him, get the wood burning tool out for me. He's like, why? I'm like, because I need to put holes in the back of these houses. He's like, are you going mad? I'm like, are you going mad? He's like, you have a drill at your table that you can drill holes to the back of these birdhouses. And I was like, oh, about that. So you guys, you could use either a drill or a wood burning tool. But either way, I drilled holes on the back, put the zip tie through. You're going to have to put it through the back hole, feed it through the front hole, and then put it back through the back hole. It's super easy, you guys, I promise. So now we're going to play with placement, and you might have to change the direction you drill the holes in. So like this top one, I drill the holes in vertically, so one on top of the other, and then I will zip tie it. Now make sure, it kind of gets a little hard only because you have to make sure it's resting on the wire, or else it kind of like buckles in the gaps, if that makes sense. So just watch that. All right, and then my favorite, Spanish moss. I'm just gonna stuff that right in there, and I will clean it up, of course. This would look so cute with some like little birds perching up on here or something, or even like in the greenery. But I really love how this turned out. Thank you, Tanya, for the inspiration and for putting this wagon wheel to use finally. And I love the look of it. I love that, like, it's not just an Easter wreath. I could use this and have this out for however long. So love this very much. All right. Again, if you guys don't like to paint, then you probably didn't like this video because it's a lot of painting. So taking these glass containers from Dollar Tree, they did come in a lot of colors. I purchased the clear because I knew I was going to paint these. So I'm just taking a chip brush. We're going to paint all around this. We're going to get that silver part as well. And then we are going to wait until they thoroughly dry, of course, with our heat gun. Then taking our mineral again, we are distressing it. Now, I know distressing, like I've said, isn't for everybody, but I really think it adds that texture. It makes these little ridges pop up off of the container, and that's just my preference. So again, you do you know what I say, okay? If you guys are loving kind of like this shabby chic look, give me a thumbs up so I know to do more of them for you. All right, taking some of the floral foam, we're gonna just stick all that in there. And then taking our scrap skewers that we used earlier. I'm gonna take my dog clippers. You could get these at the Dollar Tree. And then that burlap pad, you guys, I don't know where I got this from, but I used my Cricut to cut out these birds, and I did use it on the burlap fabric setting, just so you know if you have one. And we are just gonna hot glue these right onto our skewers. I didn't paint the skewers or anything like that. And now I was trying to figure out, do I want them staggered? Do I want them the same? I don't know, but I think I made one just a little bit taller. So then taking some more Spanish moss, we're just going to go ahead and stuff those in the bottom of our vases here. And that is it. Well, like I've said, easy peasy, Dollar Tree squeezy. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed these farmhouse spring decor ideas. I hope it inspires you to create something of your own. Make sure to check my description box down below for Kristen's link, along with our Facebook group. I wanted to let you guys know that I'll be going live every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central on Facebook. So hopefully you can join me for those. They'll be a lot of fun. We're going with the bright colors of our tablescape. So I grabbed this plastic container or platter from Dollar Tree because I thought it reminded me of an Easter egg shape. So the back has like this beautiful detail. So I started painting with Pool by Waverly on the back, thinking, maybe the design will like come through on the front. But when I flipped it, not so much. So I ended up painting the front and the back. I did a double coat on the inside. Now I'm taking my DIY white wax and I'm going to coat the inside of this. And y'all, this ended up turning out really pretty because it made it look like wispy clouds in the background of my bunny. This wax is also going to seal our chalk paint in there as well. So after I'm done with that, I'm going to get that bunny template that's on the right. I just found that on Google, uploaded it to Canva, resized it, and printed it out. I will try finding this bunny on Google again and attaching it down below for you guys. So now I'm taking one of these metal tray platter things from Dollar Tree, and I am just tracing out my template with a permanent marker. Now, these cut super easy, but you still have to watch out because it does get sharp. But I mean, seriously, it cut so smoothly. So I just made sure to cut inside the black marker lines so that, because I wanted my bunny to face to the right. So after that's done, I get Plaster by Waverly and I am going to coat our entire bunny. Now be careful because this is super, super thin material, so it does bend and it could rip. And then I take my rough sanding block. I'm going to go over the bunny just to bring out all that beautiful texture in the metal. And then I grab my gray wax. Now, y'all do you. I liked the wax. I thought it gave it like this shadow effect. If you don't like it, don't do it. Again, this is just for inspiration, but I really loved how it made the bunny pop. All right, so now I'm taking 4 Jenga blocks. We're going to turn them on their sides. And sorry if you could hear my tummy. It's growling. Baby's hungry. And I'm going to put 4 of these on her. So then I put some more hot glue on there, attach it to, I'm going to call this my egg. And I am now going to start decorating it. So we get some Spanish moss. I'm going to bring it up to about her arm. But you do you. You bring it up however far you want or however low you want. And I'm going to secure it with a little bit of hot glue. Then I'm going to take, these are the lavender picks from Amazon that I said. They look so real. They're stunning. And I'm going to put those behind. Now you could drop some hot glue in there, but these were not moving. All right, now I put this little headband on her. I got this idea from Christina Elizabeth. And I knew this bunny needed something. So I just squeezed some Spanish moss together, made this little headband tiara, and then taking these paper flowers that one of my amazing subscribers sent me, I am going to go ahead and get some hot glue and attach those to her headband. So after that, we just have to get some jute cord. I put it right behind the lip of this tray. Do the same thing on the other side and we are done with this. And look at, I've never used this color, the Pool from Waverly, and I love how all of this looks together. I'm really shocked how much I like this bright color, but I think it's gorgeous and I hope you guys have fun making one yourself. Next, I found these new frames at Dollar Tree and I was like, hello spring and Easter perfection. So I'm going to take them apart. I'm going to use my Star Bond thick adhesive here and I'm just going to plop that glass right back in. I personally like the glass when I'm doing like lanterns and stuff, but you do you. And I know you guys have probably seen this like a million times, but there are new crafters out there that have not. So you guys, we lay one frame down. I'm going to glue 2 to the side. Now make sure you're using like putting your fingers on the sides so that you know that they're lining up properly and it's not going to be uneven. So next I put the hot glue on one side and then I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to pull those frames because what they do is they kind of like warp in. So you have to give them a little pull to make sure that you got your like perfect rectangle, square, whatever you want to try it. And then y'all know, okay, that like sometimes when we're crafting, we always have to like overthink things. So I spent like 30 minutes trying to figure out like what bottom can I use for the bottom of this lantern? Like a Dollar Tree sign, a piece of wood. Like I was trying forever to find something to fit the bottom of this. And then like right in front of my face, it was like the craft sticks. How about you use the darn jumbo craft sticks and make your life so much easier? But you come on, you guys know that you do that too. And then you're like, why didn't I think of that? But anyways, so we're using jumbo craft sticks. I'm going to paint them pink. And then I'm also going to take these finial caps. These are also from Walmart. The jumbo sticks are as well. First, I painted them pink, and then once I put them next to the frames, I realized the frames more of a peachy color than a pink color. So yes, this is the bottom of our lantern, but I like a finished piece. So that's why I decided to paint it, because if I did want to use it in the house and somebody picked it up, they might see it. If I wanted to put it in the booth, I wanted, a finished product. So anywho, next I go ahead and glue on those finial caps to the corners. And we got some legs on this lantern, which I think is adorable. All right, so for the handle, you can use nautical rope if you want. I decided to take, is it like a beaded wire? I don't know. They have this during Christmas. This was some Valentine's Day ones from last year. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to kind of triple it up. I wanted it to look thicker, and of course I wanted it to be a little stronger, but this is definitely just for decor purposes. If I would have thought this out before putting the frames together, I probably would have like stapled the handles to the frame. But since this isn't like an afterthought of what I was going to do, I ended up using hot glue. So needless to say, I'm not going to be able to pick this up by the handle. It is just going to be for looks only. But you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm just hot gluing this right inside our picture frame. And then come the accessorizing. I'm going to use some Spanish moss. These cute little glass bunnies, you guys, are from Dollar General, and they are $1. They have this version, and then the other version is holding like a carrot that says Happy Easter on it. Now, when you guys see the reveal, I wish I had a taller bunny to put in here, because it kind of looks, see how tiny it looks? It still looks super cute. I mean, let me know what you think about it, but I think it still looks cute, but I wish my bunny was like taller for decor. I don't know. I just feel like it could use something taller in there. I know you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. All right, you guys, this last one is so easy. This next one, you guys, this is just me. I made this. I was going off of the first DIY, and I was like, okay, well, I can't just leave this out. So I just added it in here. So I'm taking a Dollar Tree sign on the left, then this Dollar General chicken wire sign. It usually has like a cow or a chicken or something like that on it, and they usually always have them at my Dollar Generals. And I traced out some cardstock, and then because I'm going to use that cardstock in the backgrounds, I decided to get plaster and distress this frame so that it wasn't like brown on top of brown. I take that cardstock and then I'm going to glue it to the back. And the reason why I'm taking the cardstock is because we need to cover the words on our Dollar Tree sign. So I just hot glue that cardstock straight to the back. Easy peasy. And then we are going to take it and hot glue it right over. Ooh, you see all those grays? Yep. They came with the third one. Okay, so hot gluing that on. Now we're going to take a wood carrot cutout from Dollar Tree, trace on our scrapbook paper. My girlfriend Lisa sent me this and I love it. All right, so I'm just going to hot glue mine on. You can Mod Podge, you could use a glue stick, you do you. And then I take my rough sanding block from Dollar Tree and I'm going to hit the sides. And then because it had a texture, the actual scrapbook paper did, I ran it over top and look at how it brings those little dots out. So cute. All right, now grabbing some boxwood, I take that, we're gonna hot glue that. And then I did stain the top of the carrot only because, so I didn't want it to be like all natural wood popping out through the boxwood, if that makes sense. All right, so now we're gonna wrap some twine around to hide the bottom of that boxwood. I'm gonna do a 2-loop finger bow. Hot glue that over to the corner. Easy peasy. And then we're just going to hot glue our carrot straight into the middle. This was such an easy DIY. And then for the top to hang it, because it is front heavy, it would just topple over. I doubled up some twine, tied knots on the ends, and then I'm just going to hot glue them right to the top. So easy. Look at that. And this came out so adorable. This is why I couldn't leave it out. Like this one and the first DIY just go together like, cookies and milk. I love it. and it was so easy to make. And you can do this same layout with like the bunny cutout, the egg cutout, I mean, whatever you want. So you guys, starting off, we're gonna take these wooden bird houses. These come in a lot of different styles, so make sure you take a look at them. I got them in 3 different styles, and I am taking a bunch of textured stickers from Dollar Tree. We have these, which I've used on previous projects, and then we also are going to be using some circular puffy stickers. So for these, I am going to be adding them only to the roofs of the houses. So for this one, I'm going to do it in the front and the back. And of course, remember you guys, this is just inspiration. You could add as much bling on here as you want. Now this ends up getting scrapped later. I'll show you what we do with the roof of that house. So for this one, we're getting the small circular puffy stickers, and I'm going to put 7 on the top shingle and then 6 on the bottom shingle, and then we're going to repeat that step for the opposite side. Now these do not need any additional adhesive. They stay put once you press them down firmly. Absolutely love these, as you can see. All right, so now painting. I am using Rust-Oleum's Blush Pink, Serenity Blue, and Chiffon for all of these projects today. And essentially all of the bodies of our houses are going to be opposite colors, the bases opposite colors, the roofs opposite colors. So I am not going to put you through the torture of watching me paint every single house, because I think you guys get the concept of painting here. But just be careful when you are painting, because since we are using contrasting colors, you don't want your lines all messy. So I do a single coat of paint on like the bases and the body of the houses, but on the top of the houses, on the roofs, I'm gonna do 2 coats of paint so that I can try and cover up as much of the color on these stickers as possible. So this is the second one where I said we're gonna scrap that later, because it looked so weird that all of the other houses had texture on them and then this one didn't have it on the roof. So we're gonna put some of these bigger puffy stickers. Now these, you guys, just lightly place them on there. That way you can move them around, and then when you for sure know that that's where you wanna stick them, then press firmly and then they will not go anywhere. So after that, we're gonna go ahead and continue on painting. Pink, oh, slobber. Puppy pad to the rescue. See, multiple uses. He's so cute. Okay, so now taking some mineral chalk paint by Waverly and our new favorite plaid chip brush. The link is down in the description box for you. I am going to distress the roofs of the houses. Now, this is my preference. Some of the color in those stickers were still peeking through, so I thought this would be a great way to kind of blend it. And also, as you guys know, I love to mention, I think it makes the stickers pop a little bit more on the roofs, and I think the mineral color was like just what it needed. I was almost going to do antique wax, but so glad I stuck with that color. So now we are going to take the chiffon chalk paint, and I am going to use this, it's my apple barrel synthetic brush. These come in like a 3-pack at Walmart for I think $4, and I love using this paintbrush when I am painting on glass. It is very smooth, and I don't know, it's just easier to apply for me. So we are gonna paint 3 of these candlesticks. One is larger than the other 2. I didn't know they came in 3 sizes. And we are going to do 2 coats of paint on all of these. And then taking my stencil brush from the Dollar Tree and that mineral chalk paint again, we are going to distress it down. Now I know distressing isn't for everybody, so just take these and use them as inspiration. And what's nice about these, I always say it in these like spring videos, these can be any color. So they can be everyday decor if you just change up the colors. And that way, you know, if you're not into the spring vibes or the colors I'm using, just change it up. So now taking the birdhouses, we're gonna take the Fix It All super glue. It is my favorite, and then hot glue. So for those of you newbies out there crafting, we use the super glue for longevity, and we use the hot glue for that immediate hold so that your houses aren't gonna be moving around on you. So we're gonna repeat that with the last one, and then we are going to add just a little something else, because of course I couldn't leave them I couldn't leave it alone. So I'm going to be doing a finger bow. I'll attach this video down in the description box for you and up in the cards. And I am just making a 2-loop finger bow, and I tried it a couple different places, but decided we're going to put it on the little perch right here. And I think it just added, just so it wasn't so plain Jane, you know, it just added that little extra that it needed to be super, I don't know, look at how cute these are. I love these. They're already out in our home on a shelf, and they came out so great. I hope you guys love these. Comment down with a heart if you loved these little houses. Taking this, they're the plastic plates from the spring collection that are out right now, and they actually come in a pack of 5. So these are beautiful to use as a plate, or we can decorate it, which we're gonna do. So I'm just taking the smaller puffy circular stickers, and we're gonna put that in all of the scallops. Then taking that chiffon chalk paint and just a chip brush, we are gonna go around the front, and we are gonna put it on the back. Why are we putting it on the back? One, your girl has to have a finished product. Like, it has to be finished looking. I want it to look like you went and bought this at a store. And 2, this is gonna be on like one of those little plate stands. So you're gonna see the back of it. So then again, taking this mineral, we are gonna distress that down, get those scalloped edges popping up and those stickers. Oh, looks beautiful. Love this brush. Then taking some scrapbook paper. I do not know where this scrapbook paper came from. It has been in my stash for a long time. So we are gonna trace out our bunny. That bunny is from Dollar Tree. Get our jumbo glue stick, my favorite. And then we're gonna go ahead and put that scrapbook paper on. I just love how vintage this looks with all the handwriting on there. It's gorgeous. Then taking our craft knife by Arteza, we are gonna go ahead and clean that bunny up so we don't have a bunch of overlapping paper. Easy peasy, Dollar Tree squeezy, you know? Okay, there we go. Oh, this is Mama getting crazy because we ordered some things off Wayfair, saved our hard-earned money to buy brand new stuff, and they came without screws, they came without instructions, and my husband's like, you're better at that, you do it. So anyways, we are gonna go ahead, and this is just popsicle sticks that I'm cutting up and layering on top of each other with a hot glue gun so that we can use it as a riser behind the bunny. Now, I didn't want the bunny popping up too far. That's why I didn't use one of those, like the wooden cubes from Dollar Tree. I created my own. We're gonna attach that to the back of our bunny, and then we're gonna glue our bunny onto our plate. There we go. Now taking some Spanish moss, also from Dollar Tree. If you guys don't like getting dirty, don't use this because it gets everywhere, and yeah, it's not neat to work with. So this bunny was just raised just a little bit, so it was nice because I was able just to stick this underneath the bunny without any adhesive, and it has totally stayed put. But if you are gifting this to somebody or selling them, then I would recommend putting a little bit of hot glue or adhesive back there just so it doesn't go anywhere. But it was tight enough where it didn't move on me. So we're just gonna follow this all the way around, and then we're gonna go ahead and clean this up just so you could still see like the scalloped edges of the plates, also so you can still see the shape of our bunny here. So after that is done, here she is, absolutely gorgeous. And I can't wait to use these plates on so much more. And you guys, head over to my Instagram. It's down in the description box because y'all just need to see how I just decorated the house using all. I keep like everything. Well, this is actually the cover to a light fixture. Most people would call it what you say a booby light. Yeah, we took this off of the ceiling that leads into my craft room. And of course, the crafter in me was like, I know I could do something. So I'm doing something. So all I did was paint it in linen white by Rust-Oleum. And now I am just taking my antique wax in Waverly, and we're gonna go ahead and distress this down. And although you're not gonna see like the bottom really, it still adds a lot to it. So now I'm gonna go super fast, y'all, because I am taking, it's called sisal rope. And this is actually different than nautical rope. You can get it at like Home Depot, Menards, any of those places. And it's a lot thicker, hairier. It has more texture and stuff going on in it. And I thought it would be perfect, not only for a decorative bowl, y'all, but a bird's nest. Yes, a bird's nest. So right here, I am just going all the way on top of it, covering all of that glass. And I had the perfect amount of rope for this project. It was amazing, you guys. And it was just so easy to make. This was the one that I was like last ditch effort. I was like, oh, I want one more project in here, and it ended up being my absolute favorite. So now I'm just adding some Spanish moss to it. And what's great is that this can be a decorative bowl all season long, or you can do like what I did right here and put it into a little nest. You could put a bird in there, some eggs. I mean, y'all, the possibilities are endless. Comment with a flower down below if you are digging this DIY. You guys, we're going to take these wood blocks. Thank you, Leona, for sending me these. And this is that mind game thing. And I wanted to point out that there's holes that go straight through, and then there's holes in it that only go through these two sides. So make sure to look out for that. Then taking skewers and some foam blocks, I am going to attempt to paint these. Now, I know a lot of you are cringing, but my favorite way to paint beads for like a beaded garland is on a wire with spray paint. However, I do not have these colors in spray paint. So some of you suggested the skewer method. So this was my take on the skewer method, and all I'm doing is brushing them up and down, and it does a good, I mean, after I got the hang of it, it was pretty good. So we're going to do 4 of these in chiffon, 4 in blush pink, 4 in serenity blue, and I do 2 coats on all of the beads. Dry them off. We're gonna go ahead and set those to the side. Now taking that same scrapbook paper, I tried to get a corner that had more details in it and a little bit more color, I guess you could say. Taking our glue stick again, we're gonna go ahead and put that scrapbook paper right on there, press firmly down, and it will not go anywhere. All right, so taking this mineral chalk paint, I am just brushing it on the edges just so it looks a little bit more worn and with the scrapbook paper. All right, so slowing it down for you, we're gonna make a tassel. So I am wrapping this around. This is, I think, my scraper tool, but you can use 4 fingers. You could use anything you want. And you're gonna wrap it until you get the thickness you want. Then we're gonna take it off. You're gonna grab a smaller piece of twine, and we are going to double knot that around our loop, leaving longer on the bottom and then like a smaller loop on top. So you're going to cut the bottom piece, the longer half, in half, and that's gonna be like your tassels. And now we have our loop right here. That's our small loop. That's where we're going to feed the twine. Here we go, feeding that in there. I'm going to double knot this up for you guys. There we go. And this is now going to become our twine that we're gonna feed our beads onto. So cut a good amount. I didn't know how long this was gonna be. It was way too long. And then I'm taking some painter's tape, wrapping it around that end so I could easily put these beads through. Now, right away, as I start this, I'm like, whoa, these are way too bright for this scrapbook paper. Like, they need to be distressed. They need to look dirty because they just were not going. So we're gonna finish this up and then I'll show you what we do, which is, I'm pretty sure you guys know what we do. So we're gonna double knot this to our little egg here. And then what did I take? Mineral. And we're gonna just put that on top of our beads. I focused a lot on that first pink bead, just so it didn't look so bright. And this totally completed the look. I mean, it tied everything in. It tied it into the scrapbook paper. I was so excited. Now, I know I've made beaded garlands before, you guys, but this was with a different method of not actually using the beads. So I hope you enjoyed this DIY because I think it turned out absolutely beautiful. So for those of you that have Instagram, you probably remember me hauling this from my local thrift store. This little girl bunny was $2.99 and I had to paint it. It was a pretty pink, but it so reminded me of like the 90s, you know, like the glassware and the plates that had the little like blue heart on it with like the pink flowers on the side. That is what this reminded me of. So we needed to bring it into 2021. So I'm taking my Waverly chalk brush, and I got these at Walmart, and it came in a 2-pack and they were less than $11 for the 2. And you'll see next Tuesday I also use it. And I love it because it's helping me get into all the little grooves and texture of this bunny. It had like these little raised bumps all over it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to coat this entire bunny with the linen white. I do 2 coats because it definitely needed it. Now taking that antique wax again and my Dollar Tree stencil brush, I am just dabbing it all over. I want this girl to look like she was hanging out with Peter Rabbit in the garden. I want to bring all of like the outside elements in with these projects. And this bunny totally does it for me. And you know, you guys start off with a little bit here, okay? You could always add more wax later. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add some twine, and I'm just making it thick enough where you can see that it's there, you know? And we're going to get some hot glue, taper that off, wrap it around one more time. Then taking these beautiful paper flowers I got from Hobby Lobby a while ago, I'm gonna go ahead and bring some more pink back into her life. Okay, we had to add that pink in there. And she is complete. And y'all, okay, check her out. Now, this bunny looks like she would be in like a Pottery Barn catalog. I mean, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but toot, like she does.
Thrifted piece. This was $3.50 at a local thrift store. It was definitely handmade for sure. And it's been sitting in my basement for a very long time. So I'm taking Beadboard by DIY, and I am going to take my chip brush and hit all of the back of this planter with the beadboard, and then the bottom slats, I guess you can say, with that as well. This was a very rough wood, so it looked so good with just like a light coat of paint. Looks very distressed and rustic. Then I don't know why I didn't take Apothecary. I ended up taking Celery by Waverly, and I am going to coat the strip of wood on the front of the planter box, and then I'm also going to do the birdhouse in this. I just wanted some contrasting colors. Like I just wanted that birdhouse to pop even more, even though it's like popping right out at you, but you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. All right, next we're going to take some more of that floral foam. Again, hot gluing it because I had every intentions of selling these, but maybe next year. And then I'm going to place that into our planter. Take some more of the Spanish moss. You guys, do you see the repetition here? Okay. So more of this Spanish moss. And then in one bag, it had like this super dark Spanish moss and then the light Spanish moss. So keep that in mind if you're going for a certain vibe. All right. So now I'm going to take the lavender picks that are the brighter ones. I got these off Amazon. They are linked in my Amazon Live. That's in my description box. You can watch it. I go over all of my crafting supplies. It's really fun. So, and then the other picks, those are the new Dollar Tree picks. Now I'm going to fill this to the max. I want this to look very full and vibrant, and it just turned out to look so darn beautiful. All right, next I'm taking more of that Spanish moss, making a little baby nest. And I'm going to hot glue that to the corner down here so it doesn't move around when it's up. Then I take this bird. I made this from my IOD molds on a previous DIY. I'm going to paint it yellow. This is Maisie by Waverly. And I'm going to do the front and the back of this since it's kind of going to be at an angle. I dust it with some white wax, which I'll show you right here. Look at how beautiful that is. Love it. And then I got this grapevine wreath from Hobby Lobby. It came in a pack a while back. And I just stuffed it in there. Like, and I mean stuffed it. There's no glue because it's in there so tight. And I was like, okay, well, these little eggs are glass eggs from another thrift store purchase I made. And I was like, I'm not attempting to make eggs again. You'll see what I'm talking about. So I hot glued those in there. Then I needed to attach this bird somehow. So I hot glued a wood split bead to the back of it. And then I glued the split bead to the back of the wood. And you guys, I can't believe I've been sitting on this piece for so long because it turned out so beautiful. Look at this. Isn't that so pretty? This box was only $3.50. Okay, the actual box part. And then, oh my gosh, look at the florals in there. The bright lavender, makes it. Stocking. And it had a hole in it. So I had never used it. And then I decided, you know what? We can turn this into something. So I'm going to go ahead and start pulling it apart. And then I realized I'm going to have to flip this inside out because no matter what I do, I'm going to have to glue this closed. So I flip it inside out. So get those Christmas decorations out, you guys. Let's start making bags out of them. Okay, and then I'm going to cut the foot part out. Keep that because we can use that later down the road because, you know, we use everything in this craft channel. So taking my hot glue gun, we are going to just go ahead and glue that closed. This is just regular hot glue. I'm not using fabric glue or anything. And then we're going to go ahead and turn that back outside, inside out. You know what I'm talking about here. And we are going to take our Arteza fabric markers. And I cannot say enough good things about these markers. They are so pigmented and they work on everything. You guys know burlap is kind of hard to like write on and get a very vibrant color off of. These do the job. And you guys, I'm not going to fast forward through this because I was really, really impressed with my handwriting today. I mean, I have good penmanship usually on like a piece of paper, but whenever I try to craft and use my penmanship, it always turns out super janky. So I was really impressed with myself. Gosh, I'm just full of myself in this video, aren't I? Jeez, you guys, I'm sorry. No, I'm not. This is my channel, and I'll give myself credit where credit is due. Okay, I'm just kidding. Okay, no, I'm not. All right. Anyways, so we're gonna go ahead and finish this off, and then I was just gonna be like, okay, that's it, you're done. But then I decided, you know what? I need to show you guys how to decorate this. So, as I'm thinking about it, I guess right here. Okay, here we go. So I'm just taking, this is like a pasta sauce jar, and I'm going to put that in our bag. So one, it stands up. Two, so this Spanish moss will have something to kind of like sit on top of. Then we're taking all of our little carrots from Dollar Tree and we're putting all of those in there because this bunny is hungry and we want to catch this thing. So we need all the carrots we can get. This would be so cute too to do with your kids and like leave out the like night before Easter or something. I just thought it was so adorable, and how easy was that? And you could do this with anything really, even like a wine bag. That would be a good idea too. So
if you are still here in this video, I absolutely freaking adore you and appreciate that you spend your time listening to me talk about crafts or watching. I know I'm a listener for mega videos. I don't know about you, but I appreciate you guys spending your time with me. It really does help a lot when you guys watch through the videos and let the ads play. So I just appreciate you all so very much. Thank you for being here with me today. Don't forget to check out the link down in the description box for Huge Casino for those 5 million coins. Have a good one, you guys. Bye.
We're so close to just getting it done. Okay. Let's flip this right here. Okay. Oh, I should probably. Another background, because I still haven't done the one downstairs. That's all right. At least you guys get to see different parts of my house. Isn't that beautiful? My sweet husband got me this Dixon flannel for Valentine's Day, and he got me a large and a medium so I could wear one while I'm pregnant and one after I have the baby, which I thought was the cutest thing ever. Oh my God, okay. OMG. Is that really? Is that like, no, that's real. It's pretty. I'm not ready yet. Okay. That's it. That looks sketch. We're back again with a different backdrop, but I'm hiding because we hang all of our sunglasses right there. And I couldn't get a good shot of like the bottom. See, look at how cute and pretty that is, you know, except for my shoes and my grocery list. Other than that, okay. And those yellow look great with all this pink. What are you looking at, bro? It's like a family event. It's like I didn't want anything. There that lady is. Okay. Welcome back to Unicorn Dust. I don't like that. I feel like my face is getting rounder. Getting rounder, so I'm getting bigger. Botox. I just want this. I think everybody wants that, okay? Yeah, look at that. Like, did I used to look like that? Okay, anyway. You look good, girl. Stop it, okay? Okay. First off, I look super white. I mean, I know I'm like milky white on like a good day, but like, oh, I told my husband I bought box dye, and I told John last night, real talk, I said, I'm so dyeing my hair tomorrow. You see that? Like, it's just so light. Like, my natural hair color, I believe, once upon a time was like dirty blonde, like Everly's color. And he said, no, you're not. I said, what? And he goes, friends don't let friends use box dye. And I started cracking up. He goes, you know where I went and got my hair cut on Saturday or on Sunday? And I was like, yeah, or Saturday. What? It doesn't matter. And I said, yeah. He goes, it's a salon. You could go get your hair colored there. And I was like, no. Means I have to leave the comfort of my house. Anyways, hey, Hanky, you want to say hi? Come here. You're not drooly right now. Did you just drink water or anything? Okay, come here. Say hi, everyone. They haven't seen a Hanky in a long time. Yeah, my ears smell so good. He's been doing so good. He's been losing the weight that the vet said to lose. They said he had to lose 30 pounds because he was chunky. Huh? You just, you mean getting your shape back? You look so handsome. You look so handsome, my people. Yeah. Say hey, everyone. Huh? Oh, you're such a handsome boy. Okay. Bye. I'll feed you after this. This is cute, like that, but my head in front of it, it looks like I'm wearing something. Maybe I could like angle myself like, no, that would be weird. All right, let's just go with it. And we'll see. Changing out the background again. Like I said, no backdrop and against a white wall. This does not look beautiful. It just like does nothing for my coloring. So I had to climb up the stairs and I'm out of breath. Okay, real quick, because people keep asking me and I keep forgetting. I need to put it like earlier in my video, but I do have a baby registry. There have been several people that asked me if I have one yet. I have started one on Amazon. I keep kind of like adding as I'm thinking of things. So I will link that down in my description box, and that's just for anybody that is interested in it. Please do not feel like you have to purchase anything. I mean, we don't expect anything. I just wanted to put it there for those of you that have been asking, inquiring about it. I do have one, and I will put it there, and then I'll try and remember to put it in the community tab as well. And we are planning on doing like a live baby shower on YouTube. And yeah, so like I'll wait to open anything that comes from the registry. I'll do it on that live. So more information about that sooner. Okay. Let's do this. Hey. I'm feeling all cheetah. Wow. Welcome to my bedroom. Okay, guys, let's do this. I had a little bit of a cookie before starting this, needed some energy. Okay, Mama's feeling big lately, you guys. I still got 3 months to go. If you want a baby update, make sure you check the vlog channel, because that's where I'm gonna kind of like keep all of that stuff, like baby, all of that will be over on the vlog channel, and you could kind of pick and choose to watch what you want to watch. Okay. And then she can lay down, and I'm not gonna be able to get back up. It's probably a bad idea. Okay. I'll give you guys like a little update. I'm not even that big, but like, I seriously don't mind. I'm getting there. I'm getting bigger and bigger. My back is hurting so bad. So, look at this. It's like a bunch of things Everett's made for me, but they've kind of morphed into one being. Oh, look, so you know it's even getting carried by something. Do you see this? And they're the things that you can't get rid of. Like, I can't just throw this away. I've been trying to talk him into like, do you want to take these and recreate them into other things? But he doesn't want to. So this is, you know, on the nightstand. I got, oh, my cookie. Okay. Until the next time. Bye, guys.
How'd you get so handsome? You're crazy. Oh, God. How far over are you going, bud? Are you done? Are you done? Can you tell everyone hi? They love you. I don't know if they would if they know how many of my chapsticks you eat.
Here we are again. I look like super tan right now, and I'm not mad about it. Like, I feel like I'm at the beach, but it's like a little breezy out in the beach. So I need like my little sweater on, you know, like I'm getting those vibes right now. If only, if only. I finally got my hair did, you guys. I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't do it anymore. I just wasn't ready for all the grays yet, you know? I wasn't ready. I will get there. I'll get there. I think they're beautiful. My mom is all silver already, and I think her hair is absolutely gorgeous. I just personally wasn't ready to go gray yet. So your girl fixed that. Okay. All right. Let's get into this. I think I lost a chocolate chip. Okay. I think it's going on. I like the vacuum. It's convenient. Anybody that has a boy needs one of these. Everett could eat a cookie, a small cookie. And you know what? I don't know how much goes in his mouth, because when you look at anywhere he eats it, it's literally all over wherever he is. I need to go.